Welcome to this very first episode of In Otter News, the show that covers Lutris news and other Linux gaming related news. So let's start with what happened this week, and we got two new games that will be ported by Feral Interactive, and that will be we'll have Dawn of War 3 and Total War Shogun 2. So I guess the real-time strategy fans will be very happy with this. Next, we had a new release of Lutris landing a few days ago. So that was Lutris 0.4.10, and quite a big release. I mean, quite happy with this. It had improvements regarding joypad handling in wine games. So now you can play pretty much not every, but a lot of X input wine games. I've managed to play, like I'm playing Darksiders 2 right now. I've tried a bunch of other games. In this release, we added an option for D-Input 8, which is a library you need for a couple games, like Darksiders, the first one, and Dead Space 2. That will require this library to run. This will allow pretty much any controller to work with your wine games, so that's pretty great. You just have to point where the wine executable is located. Most likely you won't even have to do that because we'll update in the installers to provide this information. So when we do that, you'll install the game and you'll have full control support, including force feedback, out of the box with Lutris. This is something that is a first. You don't have that in Wine out of the box. I mean, it's a pain to set up. You don't have that in Play on Linux. I've tried to do this for a bunch of years, and now only this is working. Although also we've added a few fixes for the DualShock 3. So before, like the last release, the Y-axes were inverted, so that's not the case anymore. We also updated the runtime, which was causing a bunch of issues with like recent systems, like on Arch Linux, like on Ubuntu 17.04, and specifically on wine games like Battle.net related games, like also League of Legends, Warframe. All these games were not really working well with the Lutris runtime, so we sorted this out, and now you don't have anything to do. It will just work. So hope you like this release. Hope you try it out. If you find any bugs, please report them on GitHub. So now the main subject of this episode is about custom wine builds, because this has become sort of a trend these past few weeks. Before that, we were mainly relying on, let's say, vanilla wine builds, or at most wine staging build. Wine staging is what I recommend you use day to day to run your wine games. I mean, if they're kind of old games, you can use the regular wine, but most likely you'll want to use wine staging. But sometimes that's not enough, and we've seen like builds these past few weeks so we've pushed builds specific to StarCraft, which has patches made by Andrew Wissey, which is a Wine developer, and they are not yet included in Wine, Vanilla Wine. And this makes the free version of StarCraft run out of the box perfectly in Lutris. So the thing is, I think the patches may have landed in Wine Staging. I might have to check that out. Not sure about this. You can try both. We have Wine StarCraft 2.6, and you might want to try out Wine Staging 2.8. Anyway, if Wine Staging 2.8 doesn't work, the game will work in Wine StarCraft 2.6. Another patch version we shipped quite recently was for the Darkness 2, which has a bunch of textures, well, not textures, but lighting issues, where a bunch of part of the game was rendered in black. We shipped a version of Wine that fixes this issue, and now you can install the Darkness 2, play with controller enabled, with what I talked about quite just a few minutes ago, and it will run just fine. This is a big advancement. The biggest one we have lately is Overwatch. Overwatch, it was one of those DirectX 11 games. Everyone wanted to play it. Myself, not so much, but I know that we have a Discord channel, and pretty much 80% of all discussion is about Overwatch only. And we have this build we maintain that will manage to run Overwatch quite well. I mean, if you have a decent setup, you'll manage to run Overwatch at 60 FPS, not on max settings, but it will work. So it's also made with patches by Andrew Wissey, just like the StarCraft build, but this time the Wine version is maintained by James Kuhn, who is also known as Gamax92. And the neat thing is that Gamax92 hangs out in our RSC channel and the Discord channel. So just today I was following his progress on updating the build with Wine 2.8, and he managed to do it. So like a few hours ago I built Wine Overwatch 2.8, and it's now available, and it should run Overwatch as good, if not better, than what it used to run before. Another one we have, but that's kind of a old one, was the League of Legends build, and still not sure if this is still needed, but we'll still have it around. I think the current installer for League of Legends is using Wine 1.8, the vanilla one, and some people still want to use the patch version, and some people want to run Wine 1.8. I don't know which one you want to run. If anything, you want to ask Glorious Eggroll, which has made some very good videos on how to run League of Legends using Lutris, and he has also done an amazing job updating the installer and making League of Legends with the latest updates, because there have been a bunch of updates for League run with Lutris with the latest version. And now I've tested the game a few weeks ago. It runs perfectly. I haven't had any issues. That said, I don't play the game a lot, so if you do, please test it some more. Please let us find the best version to play League of Legends. And yeah, we'll update the installer and make it run as smooth as possible. But right now, last time I tested the game, it was already very, very good. So yeah, until then, we have a lot of things planned for this show, for Lutris itself, and yeah, this is the first episode, but I have a lot of things planned for the next one already, and we'll talk about like open source, like how to contribute to open source software. We have a lot to say about this, and hopefully there will be some new stuff by then. So yeah, see you around and keep on rocking.